Hello. Hello. Hopefully this is working out okay. I had to remember how to do everything all over again because it's been 2 weeks and I have forgotten. So that's fun. I'm gonna give it a few minutes just to let some people show up if they want to, because I just posted it on Blue Sky. But yeah. Do I sound okay? Sweet. Sweet. We're gonna try to watch video. See if it works. In a little bit here. We'll see. I might get ads in the middle of it, but we're gonna see how it worked. A little nervous. You're gonna see my secondhand embarrassment because there was mistakes, but it's okay. I still did all right. It was my first time doing it on a big stage like that. Okay. Wee, 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 wee. My glasses are always dirty. I have a cleaning cloth right here. No, that's not a cleaning cloth. That is the opposite of one. I think I got one in here. There's one. Hello, it's me. Yay. Oh, and other cats too. What's up? All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. I wonder why my chat doesn't show up in OBS. It should just be like here. Can I just put it right here? Yeah, it's not showing up. Weird. Oh, that's probably right. Well, we ain't doing that. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. I want to talk a little bit about my experience with Emerald City Comic Con this last weekend. It was great. Done. It was a really cool experience. So a little backstory. I've gone this is the second year I've like stayed nearby and did cosplay kind of stuff. Last year, Hi-Fi Fair, my husband Scatterplot, and I all roomed together and stayed right across the street. And it was really fun, and I really enjoyed connecting with people doing cosplay. And now I've been doing fursuiting for 15 years this year. And it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. But like, it's been interesting as I'm absolutely still furry and I still love making fursuits, but there's something weirdly magical about doing cosplay stuff, and especially competition stuff allows you to meet new people in a different way that I just don't think furry quite has. And let me explain that a little further by saying that like there are just an infinite supply of incredibly talented people in furry making art and music and fursuits and sculpting and all sorts of things, and it's really cool. But it's very individual islandy kind of feeling at times. And while I connect with many other fursuit makers and we share tips and tricks and everything, it's a lot of fun. I also find, like, I don't know, it's when you go to a convention, the people that you see there are people wearing other people's work mostly. And while I think that's still really cool, there's something to be said about going to a sci-fi anime Comic-Con kind of thing and being surrounded by people that made their own thing. Now, like, there's a lot of people that buy things off the shelf or do whatever like that, but man, there's something to be said about just trying to make things. And that's kind of where I feel like this channel is based on. Is like, I want to help people make things. And I think it's important. I think it's important to make things, really important. It's rewarding on lots of levels. And yeah, it's hard to get into sometimes, but man, it's cool when you see what you've done come together, and like to be recognized by your peers in any way. If it's just a simple cosplay where you make an outfit that you like and somebody points at you and is like, oh my God, or wearing a similar thing. Like I saw 1001 Claire Obscure red or black and white, red, and like the French outfits. And they were so cute and cool. And like, it's just cool to like share your love of something like that together with other people. And I adore it. So it's, I've been really enjoying cosplay from that perspective. It's very different. And like getting to do a cosplay competition last year and meeting a few people backstage versus this year where I met a lot of people, was just kind of magical to share and like see the crazy amount of work that people put into these things to wear for a weekend. And like, maybe stuff works, maybe stuff doesn't, but we're all kind of learning, figuring things out, and it's really cool. So that being said, I absolutely adored Comic-Con this year. I brought a cosplay I brought last year, but last year was my first time entering a competition, and the competition I entered was their kind of like walk-up competition. You could apply, you could sign up for it while you were there. You go up on stage, you get in a line backstage, you go up on stage, you spin around for 10 seconds and then you leave. You don't get any special intro, you don't get anything like that. And I found it to be really lacking and difficult to show off what I had done on the cosplay that I made. So this year, with the help of friends, I decided to enter into the main stage cosplay with Vortex. And I spent the last 2-3 weeks just updating things, fixing things, making it better. There was a laundry list of things that I didn't like from the first one. In fact, let me see if I can get a picture of that up on here real quick. Add just an image? Can I just add an image? Okay, I'm gonna browse and let me just find something here. Oh, I got a lot of files, but I don't have the. There we go. Okay, cool. Let me pull this up real quick. Boop. Oh, so big. Wow. I want it small. How do I resize? I don't know, I just saw a size. Oh, there's resize out. Yeah, shrink you. Let me just make this tiny. I imported so big. Whoop. Is there a tool for this? Is there like a edit, transform, fit to screen? Yeah, there we go. Figured it out. Cool. So there he is. That was Vortex. Yeah, very large. That's Vortex. Hopefully that's working better. Let me just refresh my actual stream so I can see what's happening here. Yeah, okay. Now you can see it. But yeah, that's Vortex. He is a Hellhound character from Hell of a Boss. And this is how he looked last time. And he looks about the same now. I've done a few things to improve him. Notably, like those pants that were with him before were kind of lacking in quality. I made all the clothes on him from scratch. The jeans that I made for him, the material that I had was so lightweight that it just disintegrated. Like, and you had to weather it to put the holes in there, but they just absolutely disintegrated when I wore them around a few times. There were some issues with things riding up. The legs and lower body, honestly, was really uncomfortable. The whole lower body was 3D printed and used. Let me actually grab some of it. I will grab it real quick. So yeah, so these are like examples of pieces from the original Cosplay. They're like 3D printed TPU. They're a little fuzzy because of my work with them. But this was my first time ever printing TPU, and I had done videos on how to print TPU on this channel that I learned from this process. But a lot of the pieces that I made, I just kept and didn't remake it all because I didn't really see a need to. I'm gonna move the camera down just a little bit. Tilt, my friend, tilt. There we go. Wow, that looks good. Cool. So yeah, I reprinted these pieces. I also lined every single one of these pieces with spandex on the edges because this is kind of uncomfortable. And I was wearing Under Armour underneath, but you could see the fraying of the Under Armour spandex material because it's just rubbed against it and it was ruining it over time. So I hot glued spandex lining to the whole edges. I reinforced some areas. I strengthened others. I changed the shoes out completely. The slip-on shoes that I had before, I replaced with something much better, and gave myself a little bit more room. I attached the lower legs to actually a pair of pants, athletic pants. They're in the inside of the things, and that allowed me to, it held the lower legs up a lot better, which was kind of great. And then I added in, I just added in some like little straps to help me. They were attached to the shoes at the very bottom inside the thing, so you can actually hold the straps. They grab onto the back of the shoes and you can pull them up easier that way. I added, and yeah, and then the pants I completely redid with new material. It was much happier in the long run. And then just a little cleanup. I had like access holes in the ankles to help me put on the shoes before because they were so bad. I had to cut slots basically to allow myself to get into and out of the thing. But I could sew those back up, so that looked much nicer. Then that was the lower body. The upper body, I didn't change too much. I attached a few things down a little bit better. The jacket, I kept the same jacket, but I attached some stuff. The wrists I made a little narrower, but the hands I completely re-engineered. So they were from a website originally. Let me actually find it. I think I still have it open over here. Let me see here. They were right here. Yeah, let me just do this. I think I can do this, and we should go to that. Yeah, so I originally paid for these articulating claws on Colts 3D. I bought these, and you can see that those are a lot different than the next set that I used, which I'm gonna grab real quick. So I have a finger still of this one. So this was like probably 100 hours of printing and stuff, was just making these fingers. So you can see that they're kind of similar. There's some of the same sorts of shapes to the access. I just skewed things around. I changed the whole tip of the finger. I decreased the knuckle looking thing a little bit, made it a little bit easier to work with. But that changed to, well, the other one was right here. Where did it go? Yeah, there it is, right next to me. That changed to this. So this is a thumb one from this guy. So this is all PETG printed. I redid all of it from scratch using a scan of my hand, basically scanned my hand like this, and built shapes off of my fingers that were very simple, and then built these 4 individual parts from that. And then test printed the finger a couple of times till it was happy with it, and then had to then adjusted everything accordingly for the bigger fingers, and then ended up with these guys here. And they fit and hold on much better because they're engineered around a scan of my own hand. And then they're also like, they're thinner. You can see that they're like just thinner, narrower. They have a different shape. They're much shorter than the original ones that I made were, which is kind of great. They weren't quite as unwieldy, but they had good movement to them. So I could do, you know, cool movements and have them work. In fact, I'll just grab one. So yeah, the fur from the arms goes through this. So the fur from the arms goes through above the top of that. And then inside of here, there's a little spandex glove that I use as a base to sew, and I sewed all of these fingers to the glove. And let me see here. Let me get the fingers back in here. I kind of pulled it apart a little bit so it would dry better when I finished cosplay, because I didn't want it to be nasty. Nasty. Oh, hey. Hi, Omi. So yeah. There's one finger that's not going right back into its home. Pinky's being annoying. Sorry, just taking a second. I think he just got, oh, I see what happened. It went into the wrong hole. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, the piggy's still being a jerk. Why are you doing this to me? There it goes. There we go. That should be good. So yeah, finger. So now I have hands that can move a lot more freely. The other ones would get caught a lot. They just didn't feel great. These ones are much happier. But really, the main thing was being able to get this look and then being able to like point or whatever. There's a lot of work that went into just making these things work. Now, this is also something that I have plans on fixing up a little bit because there's still some imperfections within them. This one in particular is that the more you move your fingers, the more they want to leave your hands. So I kind of want to be a little bit more aggressive about something that holds on to the back of the glove, perhaps, and pulls it up my hand, and it'll probably attach to my the bodysuit inside the sleeves, just like a buckle. But something that actively is grabbing on these pieces and pulling them back would be nice, because I can feel as the joint on the fingers moves backwards, it changes how they feel. Yeah, they're like great drench fingers. Yeah. They take a little bit of work to get feeling right, but they're pretty cool. But yeah, I still wanna update a little bit on this. I wanna make sure that the claws attach into the fingers so that they can't move around. And I think I'm gonna redo the claws so they move forward just a little bit, because right now they kind of attach to the top, but I think they would look better if they were like that look, right? That would be much cleaner. You can see there's a little bit of wrinkling in here, and that's actually part of, I sewed in elastic to the top, because one of the problems is with fur, if you let it, if you're not careful, it just will bunch on the top and then it'll look funky. But I think that might be something that gets fixed a little bit better with elasticing things down to the base of the hands too. But they're pretty cool given what they are and the couple hundred hours of work I probably put into them at this point. So these claws are 3D printed, but I painted them black and then coated them in UV resin. So they have a clear coat of UV resin on the top, and that's what gives them the nice shine to it. And it also means that they're pretty durable and easy to replace or fix up if I need to as well. I can just drip more resin onto it and it'll fix it up nicely. But yeah, I think that's the next goal, is redo the claws again, it completely, a little bit more flat. And then find a way to attach it into the hands a little bit better. And that'll look great. But yeah, I had glued these onto the fingertips through the fur a little bit. This one still is. This one's still on there pretty firmly. But I think I could probably pop it because it's just hot glue. Yeah. And these ones just came off with normal wear and tear. So it's a sign that this still needs some work, but that's what this is kind of about, is like learning and iterating on it. So that's the hands. And then there's the head, which is right here. So the head was a lot, the physical characteristics stayed the same. The big thing that changed was this eye was mesh before, and it's completely light up now. So I can very quickly, I can hit a button and it lights up. The ears, they move, they have servos built into them, so I can actually play around with those too. What's kind of cool, so the version 1 that I wore last year, the ears and tail could move, but I used an off-the-shelf system called MeTail. It was like it's a company that just makes these like servo controlled, Bluetooth controlled ears and tail parts, and I kind of like cannibalized the ears to just attach the servos directly into the head, which you can see there. And then these are just press fit on top, like that. And then the tail also worked on the app. The problem is that system, you needed active Bluetooth connections to do it. And that also meant that I had no control over that system. So one of the biggest upgrades to this suit was getting off of getting off of the MeTail system and using my own. You can see that the servos have their connections sticking out of there. And if I go over here, I can show you the super high-tech system that I built. No sarcasm at all, definitely. This is my Tupperware container. I will show it once I get it all figured out. Hi, Blitz. Hey, now I know who you are. So this is my super cool custom one-of-one Arduino container. It actually is, it's Tupperware, plastic. Very nice. And it was the only problem that I had during the show, and I will probably show the video. I'll go through the video of how this guy worked in just a minute on stage, and you'll see the thing that still makes me think that I shouldn't have won my category. Oh, spoilers. Things I shouldn't have won my category with, but I'll talk about what happened with that in a little bit. But yeah, so there is an Arduino R3 in here with a servo shield stacked on top of it. I wired everything, soldered every connection, wired all of these things up. There are 4 servos that are run out of this. There is lighting, and I made one of my favorite things I made is this little controller that fits inside of my left hand, basically fits on my palm like this. So my my left thumb was not in use during this performance. It was basically, I had a piece of foam in there and it was dead weight. And then this allowed me to click buttons for 4 preset things while actively wearing the suit. It's one of my favorite things in this thing, honestly, was this setup. Because it just worked. It just worked. I had to do some finagling to make this button stuff fit right in everything. And I have plans for this. But, you know, for what I was doing, I was very proud of this little guy and how it worked, how it wired into everything. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of work, and it was cool to get it to happen. Oh yeah, so let me see if I can I'll just get the head wired up, and we'll see how it looks here. Let me plug this bad boy in. So yeah, so we have our 3 sets of cables coming out of the head here. This one is for the eyes, which should be, yeah, this is not the best setup in the world for doing all of this. Definitely something that will get improved upon next, which I'll talk a little bit about what I'm planning in the future. But these little connectors worked out pretty okay, but I want to fix it up in the next iteration to have them be just one connection for the head and one connection for the tail. So everything can get snapped in and snapped out much easier. Also, these use I have these little blue connector covers that connect around these servos and lock them in place, which meant getting into and out of the thing was a pain in the ass. The next wave, I've already found connectors. I'm looking at making my own PCBs to make this happen. And if I can do that, then this will just be a solved problem. But that should be fine. Let me plug in my So this uses a remote control battery for the servos. It just wires into the board here directly. And then the other guy just uses my USB-C connection. It is a tiny Simon game. It is. And it was a little fussy, but it worked in the long run with everything. So that's good. All right. So theoretically, this is working now. Let me put the other ear back on it if I can remember where oh, it just fell off because I never seated it properly. Okay, so now you can see, hopefully, the ears are moving. Oh, there it goes. Look at that. Let me get the controller unwound from everything else. So there's a couple buttons on the box. Now, a huge shout out to TK, Wolfpup TK. He's one of my best friends for forever. We've been friends. We used to be roommates in California, and we moved up to Seattle together and lived together there too for a bit in Bellevue. And he's literally 5 minutes down the street from me now. Seriously, could not have done this without him. He did the programming of this. I did all the wiring, purchased the circuits, figured out what we needed, and gave him a bunch of websites with the source stuff so he could figure some things out. And he just came back within like a day and was like, I made all this crap happen, which was amazing. So, so we got, first off, we have an eye. That's the eye turn on and off. I can turn that on and off at will, which is kind of nice because I didn't seal up the back of it particularly well, so there was a bit of light bleed. I want to redo this a little bit better so that you can see those 4 light sources. There's actually 6 or 12 lights in there. I want to just diffuse that a little bit better. But sometimes when I'm moving her around, it got a little funky. I actually built the housing of it out of a 3D printed pen, using a 3D printed pen for the back of it, which is kind of cool. The other thing that this red button also does, which has a little bit of hot glue on it, thank you, Vera, for that suggestion, if I hold it down for 3 seconds, it'll end the cycle. So now it should finish whatever cycle it's on, and then it won't run. Yep. So now it's dead, right? Which is pretty good if you're just wanting to be backstage and not have it running. Problem is, the way to activate this is a long press on the red button. When I accepted the award, I grabbed the award and it pressed this button and held it, and I no longer had control of anything. So in the future, I think we'll reprogram that to be an on-off switch on the side and then have the controls around it. So yeah, there's something with that. Fun inside information, woo. All right, so then I turn it back on. Cool, so that's going. And now we have the four modes. So this is the passive mode. It just does this automatically. It cycles every like 10 seconds. Ear twitch, a little movement, just a little bit of life. The tail moves with it as well. And then I've got a look left. Yeah, kind of looks around and then it comes back and the tail moves in opposite direction. Then there's a look right. And then there's an angry setup. He's got a little wiggle at the end. I love it. It's so good. It's so cool, right? It's so cool. TK did so good with it. And I love it. It turned out great. It turned out really cool. Lots of stuff I've learned from it. Lots of stuff I want to change. But yeah, that's the head. It's really cool. I also added a neck for me for this. Which was really cool to see. But yeah, and then I'm trying to think of what else we did that we changed on this version. Legs, lining, adjusting how everything got on and off, new shoes, narrowed the arms. Okay, so I think that's good. I'm going to show you a video time. Let me unplug all of these guys so this is not on anymore. And yeah, there we go. And then put this over here so I don't step on it. My valuable stuff. All right, video time. So I'll remove. Actually, Vortex, you can stay here. You can be a little smaller. How's that sound? But in scale. Please stay in scale. Whoop. There we go. Take that. Look at that. Now he's hanging out here. Hangs out with me. Hangs out with us over here. Yeah, please no steppy. I don't want to do all that work again. All right, screen watch. There it is. Okay, cool. Okay, are you ready to watch? Why? You ready? Okay, so I'll give you a little bit more. I'm like over here on it. Just move you just a little bit over there. That's great. Hey. So I'm going to show you the competition. Basically, Emerald City Comic-Con Crown Cosplay Championships is a qualifier to get to the national championships for that system, division, whatever. I don't know what they call it. The thing, so there's two cosplay contests like I talked about before. One is the walk-up one that happens on Sunday, which is nice, but you only get judged by what the judges see for your 10 seconds on stage. They don't look at anything about quality of what you did. You don't get to see any of the behind the scenes stuff. It's just what it is. So it's kind of a lot. It was kind of a bummer, actually, like to experience that, because I couldn't showcase all the work that really went into this suit, this cosplay. So this year we did the thing. To get in, you have to apply. The application is like a month and a half before the convention, and requires photos and process shots of your work. You have to be at least 70% done, and it's a whole thing. And then when you get into the con. If you've been selected, you get to the con, you have a 5-minute judging window where you go to a room and there was 3 judges who walk around and ask you tons of questions about what you did. Now there's 3 categories for the cosplay contests. There's armor, there's FX, and there's seamstress, sewing skills. I can't remember exactly what it is, but that dressmaking, that sewing skills one, absolutely intense. Those people, most of the people that were there entering into the competition, who had made it to that far in the competition, were in that category. Needlework, thank you so much. They were breathtaking work. Just incredibly impressive amounts of detail and effort put into these things. Like, just, I can't even begin to describe how like incredible they were. But I was in the FX category, and the nice thing about the FX category is it has the smallest amount of people in it. Most of the outfits, ensembles, cosplays are light up, have some small moving parts, stuff like that. And they were all super impressive. The person that I met as I was waiting for my interview, or the pre-judging, and I saw that was like near them backstage. Oh my God, her costume was just breathtaking. And they had these crazy pneumatic moving wings that spread out. Oh my God, they were so cool. It was really impressive. And she just spent, you could tell she spent hours painstakingly work on every little detail. So it was just impressive. Like, everybody around me, there was a person right in front of me that wore this dress that was like these beautiful porcelain looking teacups and everything lit up, and like you could just see the hours and hours of work, not only making the finished product, but iterating to learn how to make the stuff. So there's a lot of that stuff. So anyway, sidetracked. So you go to pre-judging, you get 5 minutes to talk about what you have to do. I was warned by my friend Ver, who did about having a book for this thing, a build book. And I had never even heard about that before the email. So I made a build book like the night before the thing. I dictated it to her. She wrote it down, and then at like 5 in the morning, I woke up unable to sleep and just finished it. And Scatter printed it for me. Incredibly thankful for that. And it turned out great. But I think if it wasn't for that build book, I wouldn't have won. I don't think so. Because there was a lot of stuff that they looked at, but they couldn't see. A perfect example is the fingers. I got feedback at the end afterwards about what I did, and the FX judge was telling me that she's like, you need to bring one of these fingers in. You need to show us what things are made out of, because nobody here, if they're doing needlework, they don't necessarily see what's going on behind the scenes to make things work. And so it would be important for me to like show that up. But it was basically because of the pre-judging and that book that I won. And I'll show you why, because on the stage I had a mistake, and that mistake, I'm surprised, didn't cost me the whole thing. And we're gonna watch, and I'm gonna be super embarrassed watching it, because just the way that it is. Hopefully the audio is fine from this. Are you getting 2 Apple Musics? You might be getting 2 Apple Musics. I'll stop the Apple Music here real quick. I bet that's what you're getting. Pause. I said pause. There we go. Okay. I bet you were getting 2 Apple Musics, unfortunately. But okay, so here we go. Hopefully this is playing out immediately because I'm logged into my business account and I don't have free stuff here. But here we go.
Rainy Day Cosplay as Vortex. Here's Rainy Day Cosplay as Vortex from Hell of a Boss. Straight from the Pride Ring of Hell comes Vortex, the Hellhound bodyguard. While he may look imposing, the heart of this hound cares deeply for those around him, and he has been known to let loose. This cosplay, made entirely from scratch by Rainy Day Cosplay, focuses on reshaping the body with his broad shoulders, sly grin, articulated hand extensions, and wagging tail. He is a mixture of 3D modeling, foam sculpting, 3D printed shaping, automation technology, hand sculpting, machine sewing, and more.
Yeah,
and it
it's
came
bad.
all together and looks fantastic.
Oh, it's so bad. Look at that wiring. And I noticed here. You can see me notice it. Yeah,
Here we have Sparkle
it's my
Ears
colostomy
as
bag or
Ursula
whatever.
the Sea Witch from Disney.
It was bad. Oh, so frustrating. Oh, but I think I look good otherwise. But here's a couple of the things that I noticed watching this video. So obviously that came out, not something that will ever happen again. So note number one of what I need to do for a future build is that needs to be attached inside with a hard attachment. And no cables can be showing either. Those both need to be fixed. That was devastating to come off the stage and see that happen. Scatter was backstage and he was like, I think it just fell out at the end. I'm like, I don't know if it did. You need to text Bear now and I need to know if it happened when it happened. Yeah, unfortunately, not in a pocket. It needs to be sealed somewhere. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna build a piece of the chest part that it can just attach into, whether that's Velcro, whether that's like a sling, something. But part of all of this is I'm going to be redoing all of the electronic stuff so that that cable mess that you saw is not a cable mess anymore. I want it to be simple. I want it to be smaller. I've actually been talking to a friend of mine who's been teaching me what software to use, and I'm going to make my own PCBs for putting this all together. So yeah, we'll make this work. So I did a session after, on the Sunday after, where I got to talk with the people that judged. And they said that I was this close to not winning because of that. That was enough for them. Like, I was a shoo-in before that, and then that was enough for me to just get to not win. And that would have been fine. Honestly, like, I don't necessarily think that I should have won given the competition and how good they were, and theirs didn't fall apart on stage. I mean, like, my pieces are all there, but damn, dude, that's super disappointing. But that's my first competition that I got to really go for. So I'm incredibly happy with how I did. And I have my little, like, I'll show you. I got my little, like, thingy lives right here, my little award, which is cool. It's super cool. But man, I learned a lot. I learned a lot. I learned what to not do and things to anticipate, problems to anticipate for next time. So that's going to be huge next time. I also want to go up here, and I just want to, like, I didn't get to see this part yet either.
All right. And here, just hang out right back over here. Next category, rainy day cosplay as Vortex.
I had not thought I won this. I was, like, freaking out backstage because I had to, like, get in the suit again just in case, and, like, everything takes so much time to take off and on.
And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there.
And now I have to hold this thing. She's like, hold on to all this crap. I'm like, with what? My giant chubby hands? It was so cool. But I basically lost control of my head at that point. You see my ears are only facing left because the button is just pushing down the left thing over and over again.
Here. Stay right there. Stay right here, Vortex. Stay right here, Vortex. Come here, boy. Come here. Right there. You two stand on either side, just the three of you, and make your epic pose on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
I can't make a pose because I can't move my hands.
Oh,
it was so good.
One more time.
They looked
give them
so
all
good
a
too.
huge round of applause. Our
Everybody was
category
so
winners.
cool. Everybody was so cool. It was a really great experience. Anyway, I hadn't looked at that at all yet. stupid. It was a really cool experience. So, what did I learn? Yeah, what did I learn? I learned that I learned that, it's cool. People are really cool. They want to share what they make, and that's why I really like the cosplay contest stuff, the anime cons, this kind of thing. Like, it's cool to share space with so many people that make things. And like, I like making things, and I like sharing that I make things, and I like helping other people to make things. And like, man, that is what I created this channel for, is just the chance to share that with other people. And I really hope, my couple furry cons that I've done panels and had positive feedback in, I really hope to keep doing that kind of stuff, because it really means a lot to me. And oh yeah, Come Here Boy was great. And I had a good time. I really want to do more of that. I really want to focus a lot more on doing that kind of event, because I think it's been more meaningful for me as a maker to be in that kind of space. To share my studio with people, help working on stuff. And it's just cool. It's just really cool. What else did I learn? Let's see. The other stuff I learned, I'm going to focus on Vortex with. Like I said, I had a feedback panel, and I want to take all that feedback to heart. He's got a couple little things I want to improve on. Well, obviously, I want to rework a lot of the electronics. I want that button box. Oh, where'd it go? I want this button box to be smaller. This is a certain size, and it's okay, but I want it to be smaller. I want them to be a different shape so that they kind of angle up, and I don't have to hit all of them at the same time. I want an on-off switch. Yeah, because an on-off switch would be great for me to, if I want to use it, I can turn it on and turn it off with the switch, and not have it be a button, not have it be something that I could accidentally press, because turning off the stuff at the end here was a good sign of like, oh, well, I don't want that to happen again. So yeah, so this is going to be, I'm going to make a PCB for this. This is just a little guy. It doesn't even need to be that much, but the goal is to have a PCB, to have a plug with some a cable, 6 wires of cable on it, so that snaps in, and then that other end snaps right into my box. I'm going to do another PCB that has a bunch of connections out, so that all I have to do is, and that'll be on the outside of my Tupperware box. And instead of it being Tupperware, I'm going to 3D print it custom myself, or vacuum form it and seal it better. But I basically just want to have a system that everything just plugs in. There are 3 things to plug in, and that's it. One is this, one is the head, and one is the tail, and then it's done. Don't have to worry about it. I need to, feedback from the judges was, I need to increase the height of my torso just a little bit, because it's a little low. So if I bent forward, you could see my fur. Because basically, the upper body and the lower body are 2 separate pieces. Like, this is the upper body. It's just a hollow shell. I want to redo these little guys. They're built in TPU, so they're softer, but they don't need to be TPU. They can be plastic. I can sand the edges. I want them to be more angled and sharp, and I want to smooth them out and make them really pretty, because these are kind of shitty. They're not great. They commented on it. I want to adjust the legs. You can see, actually, if I go back to Screen Watch here and go back to my performance somewhere in here, boop, 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 boop. It was like, where was that? I think I've already passed it. It's like 10 minutes in. Yeah, there was. That poor Ursula had a hard time. But if I go here,
Sly grin, articulate.
you can see right there the little legs showing. So I just need some fasteners that hold these pants down, because as I move around, everything wants to ride up. So a couple of fasteners that hold that down. I'd like to clean up the legs a little bit more. This little angle here is a little funky, but yeah, I want to clean up the eye and redo the eye, make it solid in the back so there's no light leak, because the light leak blinded my left eye and then it was just hard to see in general. I want to rework the hands a little bit more so that they stay up better, more naturally. Let's see, what else? I think those are the main things. Actually, I wrote them all down. And let me see here. It was notes. Cosplay feedback. Yeah. Lower body height, the wiring better. Yeah, if I do some of the wiring stuff, I might even be able to make some like channels that the wiring can snap into or magnet into so that things can get like taken care of. Maybe not magnets, but something that like allows it to just sit in a place better and they can't fall out. I want to use a cold vest, and I want to add a fan into the head because the ventilation is bad and I got really hot in that damn thing. And I know some of the cosplay contests, like the one I'm looking at doing next in Denver, you have to be in that thing for 2 hours straight and you don't get to take it off. So I got to figure that out. I think I could figure it out. I think I'd be able to take the head off, but even then I need a handler to help me with that. So getting it easier to do, getting the wiring stuff figured out, all that kind of stuff will be nice. I can't think of anything else. The other stuff, like they had a really good feedback about like the airbrushing, the fur choices. They were super impressed by my fabric usage. Even the needlework people were like kind of, I remember the head needlework person talked a little bit about like fur choices and the length and everything, and commented about how it must have been difficult to do. And I was like, yeah, like that's part of like the skill in this one is there's like shaving and then there's layering of fur, like his head in particular. You know, I've got pre-shaved short pile gray here and then short pile here, and then this I shaved to match but left it kind of scruffily because it in the show his nose hair fluff is kind of like has a mind of its own, so it needs to have that look to it. So there's a lot of stuff like that I think we need to work on. I want to see if we can add more into the movement of the ears and stuff, a couple of different patterns, a little bit of more playfulness, but about Arduino 4 to play around with something with a little bit more memory. But this is also a jumping off point for future cosplay stuff too. So yeah, the next goal is I'd like to do this cosplay contest in Denver. And then the next big thing I've got planned will be Emerald City Comic Con next year. And that will be a focus on the next big project, which is already started. And this is a jumping off point for. So the goal is Death Wolf from Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. And he's going to be gigantic. He's going to be 7 feet, 8 feet tall. He's going to be a lot of servos. I could see me using every servo mount on this board that I have. And that's 16 servos. I could see him, he's going to have lighting, he's going to have audio, he's going to have all sorts of stuff. So yeah, going to be fascinating to see how it all comes together. Hopefully it works great. I think it will be fine. It should be fine. But yeah, I'm excited about that. Does anybody, if you're hanging out, do you have any questions, any thoughts, comments, whatever, before I wrap up? It's been a really fun little stream just chatting about what happened at the con. Next week, I'll be back working on something. I'm not sure what I'm going to be working on yet, but next week, I'll probably be starting the next fursuit project. So hopefully I'll get back on Monday from family visit and be able to focus and work pretty heavily on the next fursuit, because I want to get working back on that kind of stuff. Cool. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was thank you for the congratulations. It's been a lot of fun it was cool. It's just really cool. Like I love being in creative fandoms, furry as well. Like I've been loving vending at furry cons and spending my time back in that situation, because it's also been a chance for me to meet other artists and hang out, share my other kind of stuff that I like to do besides cosplay. But yeah, I really want to, I plan on sharing some more stuff again soon. My next video should be out in the next week or so. I'm just going to be doing the FC panel that I did. And then I'm going to do a bigger dive on this. I'm going to use this video tonight as kind of a breakout point to do a deeper dive on Vortex and how I did everything. I have screenshots and videos of the entire process. So I'm just going to talk about it all from the ground up. And it might be a 2-part series given all the stuff that I've had to do and redo and stuff. But yeah, that's the next big video. So hopefully I'll be recording that by the end of this week. So yeah. Let's see. What type of battery did I use in Vortex? So the battery for the servos is a little 4.8 volts RC car battery. So these guys, this is what was recommended for my servo usage. We could do the beautiful. And the other battery was just a USB battery power pack. I just connected it with USB. So I can use any USB battery. I want to minimize that. My goal is with the V2 of the electronics kit, I want it to be all self-contained with a battery pack in it. And I want it to just, all of it to just work without having to do all this other crazy wiring. But if I can get a pack about that big, about that tall into the chest area that has everything with a switch to turn it on and off, it'll be great. So yeah. I've been working on my own TPU print for my suit using some of my videos. The guy was very helpful. No, thank you. Yeah, I'm really glad. I really like printing with TPU, and I think over the summer I'll do another video guide on TPU printing because I've used 3 different TPUs since then. There's some new, more budget-friendly options for the foaming stuff, and I kind of just want to revisit it. I think it would be a really good idea to revisit it with a couple of my machines and what I've learned since then, because I've definitely been trial and erroring even more since then. So totally. Well, I'll be back again next week for more streaming. Feel free to ask questions when I'm streaming stuff. I may not be the fastest to respond, but next week, I'll be back with a fresh new voice, and I'll be willing to chat if you're around on Tuesday nights. So Tuesday nights, same time, place is where I'll be. Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you all for coming. It was a really good stream. Nice talk through everything that happened. Hopefully you guys like it and can learn a little bit about how cosplay contests work and what to avoid, like your electrical power packs just falling out of your chest in the middle of the stage. Oh God, I saw that today for the first time. I found the video and I was so embarrassed. Yeah, it was bad. So anywho, cool. Thank you again for coming. Big thanks again to Scatter for handling me backstage and, making sure I ate when I was not sleeping for 4 days before the con. Big thanks to Ver for all of the work that they did throughout the process. Seriously, the person who inspired the project to begin with and helped me many steps along the way, covered my ass a few times. And then TK for all of the amazing electronics work. He showed up on the Monday of the cosplay week and programmed it all and made it all work. It was so good. It was so good. I have a power team behind me right now that all helped me do well this weekend. So yeah, with that, I'll just say goodbye. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you next week on the Fuzz Academy. Bye. Oh.
yeah.